But over that day and the next, talking to numerous sheriff's deputies, detectives, including those detectives, he gives this bizarre story of his parents leaving in an unknown car, going to a cabin with an unknown couple, with an unknown amount of money, for really an unknown reason.
As the prosecutor today in the brand new trial here on Court TV, the case versus Chandler Halderson, accused of murdering his parents and then dismembering them, and talking about the story that the defendant told investigators when he reported his parents missing. Really a great opening statement by the prosecution laying out the case. Let's take a listen.
Our job is to, over the course of the next couple of weeks, present evidence to show you the path of what we believe happened, which is that Chandler Halderson killed his parents, dismembered their bodies, and hid them around southern Wisconsin. The story starts a week later, on July 7th, 2021, nearly a week after killing his parents, but no one in the world knowing. Chandler Halderson walks into the Northeast Precinct of the Dane County Sheriff's Office and says, "I'd like to file a missing persons report." She says, "Then I see Chandler. He's walking out of the woods in that area." Now, at this point in the investigation, the police are out there with this woman. They're out on the farm, and she says he walked out over there. And you'll hear from the detective, Detective Brett Baverstock, who was out there. And he'll tell you that his eyes kind of shifted up and he saw vultures. And I promise the photos are only going to go this far for right now. But the police walked about 20 yards into the woods, and in that pile of debris, under dozens of sticks, bushes, and dirt, they found Bart Halderson. What the evidence will show in this case is that sometime after the "I'm ready whenever you are" message, and probably just around 3 o'clock when he was supposed to go to this meeting with MATC, Bart Halderson was shot in the back multiple times with a high-powered rifle. And after shooting his dad, Chandler texts his mom, "Dad's phone died. Text or call me. And get sewed on your way home. I have an extra hour of work." You know he didn't have an extra hour of work, but he was delaying her getting there because the evidence will show he needed to move things around, prepare for what he was about to do when she showed up. She responds, "Kay, I can," smiley face. Those are the last words of Krista Halderson alive. That night, what appears to have happened, what the evidence will show, is Mr. Halderson took items from around the house and began cutting apart his parents. Saw blades covered in Bart and Krista's blood. Like I said in the beginning, a lot of cases end with the murder. This one, it's just a small piece of the puzzle. None of the things that happen after and none of the things happened before make any sense without knowing the murder happened on a specific day at a specific time. But the evidence in this case you'll find is overwhelming. Chandler Halderson killed his parents on July 1st, 2021. He cut up their bodies with axes and saws and knives. And he didn't even give them the dignity of having a funeral or even a final resting place in one piece or together. Their remains were scattered across Dane County, in public land, on farms, in garbage cans, in rivers, and perhaps every ditch is a possibility in this county. You'll find the evidence in this case is overwhelming.
Great opening statement. A lot of evidence, it seems, in this case. So how do you respond to that? And we know every defendant is presumed innocent. And juries don't have to find someone innocent. They either find them guilty or not guilty, because the only thing that matters is, can the prosecution prove the case and overcome that presumption? But a lot of times in the cases that we have, the defense has something. Well, it couldn't have been him because he was here, or somebody else did it, or it was self-defense, right? Take a listen to the defense in this case.
Don't assume anything. Assumption is the mother of all mistakes. The story that you just heard assumes that Chandler Halderson killed his parents. You cannot assume anything. Your job is to presume that Chandler Halderson is innocent because he today is under the benefit of the presumption of innocence. An assumption is reaching a conclusion without knowing all the information. A presumption is a principle that we all must follow. We must presume him innocent, and we must keep that presumption unless and until the state proves every element of every charge beyond a reasonable doubt.
Everything she said is right, it's correct, it's true, it's the foundation of our system. But what it really means in the real world is they got nothing. They've got nothing. Nothing. At least from that opening statement. We'll talk about it with the think tank in a minute, but I first want to bring in Court TV legal correspondent Chandler Painter joining us tonight from Wisconsin. Chandler, great to see you. Am I missing anything? Was there anything else, just for purposes of clarity here, was there anything else in that defense open that points to someone else or an alibi or anything that would say someone else did it?
No, absolutely not. But she did say that her client did not do it, that he is innocent. That was one of the first things that she said in her opening statement, Vinny. She also said something interesting that stood out to me towards the end. She said that her client faces several charges. She said, by the end of this trial, jury, you're still not going to know who murdered or how Bart and Krista Halderson were murdered here in this case. They can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. But she said there's other counts that we may stand before you at the end of this trial and say, yes, they did meet this burden on this count or that count, which I thought was also an interesting strategy.
Very interesting. Might have to do with what happened with the remains, but we'll see. We'll see. That's fascinating to do that in the opening statement. All right, we saw pieces of the opening statements. How about the witnesses today? What happened? What were the big takeaways today from the witnesses?
Prosecution's case is well underway. They've called 12 witnesses already so far on day one of testimony here, Vinny. There were several standout witnesses, including the brother of the defendant, Mitchell Halderson, who took the stand after lunch today. I was sitting inside the courtroom. You could cut the tension with a knife when the brother took the stand. He wouldn't even look over towards Chandler until he had to identify him in court, and he briefly darted his eyes over there. But this is a key witness for the prosecution, Vinny, because he introduced his parents to this jury through a big photo. He also talked about their habits and how the story that his brother gave would not have made sense given what he knew about his parents. He also highlighted maybe a possible motive about them being a beneficiary of about a total $1 million life insurance policy between his parents. Also, the state called witnesses, those deputies who took the initial missing person report from Chandler, including a deputy, Justin Groans, who actually went out to the property with Mitchell. The jury was shown body cam video of the lake home that the Haldersons allegedly went to that day. There was no sign of anyone at that lake home, and the jury saw video from this witness. But also, this witness was important because he debunked the theory or the story from the defendant that his parents went to a 4th of July parade on that Sunday, and he said no, actually it was scheduled for Saturday, so that would not have been possible. Other key witnesses this afternoon included co-workers of Krista Halderson and neighbors and friends, including one co-worker, Daniel Croniger, which was so concerned, Vinny, that he actually went to the Halderson's home when Krista, his coworker, his friend, was missing, and he told this jury about encountering the defendant at the home, and he had just showered. He was still wet, and how his demeanor seemed a little bit odd, like he was looking through him when he was talking about certain things. So, key witness testimony already today, and we expect more tomorrow.
Chanley Painter in Wisconsin. Thanks so much, Chanley. Let's bring in the think tank real quickly. We're a little short on time here with a special interview coming up in just a moment. But Al Wunsch, I'll go to you. You're talking about the presumption in your opening statement. We heard all that powerful evidence that the prosecutor says they have. The truth of all of this is that the defense has nothing. Am I reading this wrong?
No, because assume and presume equals case is in doom. Okay, simple as that. And the only thing she didn't say that she should have said was, we got to feel sorry for this guy because he's an orphan.
Yeah, not too good. Michael Sterling, we only have about 15 seconds. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree, Vinny. It doesn't seem like they have a whole lot to work with.
All right.